Hello and welcome to Crypto Weeklies. In this video, we discuss Quant, the crypto QNT ticker, and none of the content is financial advice. Let's get started. Now, the price of Quant is at around $87. It has come off of the low of this $72 range. Now, the price is slightly above the 20-week simple moving average, which is at around $86, and the 21-week exponential moving average, which is at around $86.15. So where does the next step for Quant look like? The next target per this technical analysis, the blue line over here is the 50-week simple moving average, which is at around $92. If there is a rally to that level, we have to check back to it. Right now, again, from peak to peak, there is this line that is kind of forming over here since about late December 2024. That level for Quant, again, the lower high structure, if that were to prevail, there could be a rally to somewhere between $100 and $105. That's something key to notice. In terms of why we are discussing Quant today, it has rallied quite a bit over the last 7 days, up by about 19%, and over the last 30 days, up by about 30%. Market cap still above a billion. Tokenomics, again, about 81% is in circulation, so that again qualifies of some attention, as lots of or majority of the max supply is in circulation. The max supply is at around 15 million, of which 12 million is in circulation. So that means whatever happens with respect to the market cap growth gets reflected fairly back in price. So there isn't any major divergence between these two charts. So that means, again, in terms of tokenomics, at least the threshold of any token dilution has been reached again. So if the circulating supply and max supply stays the same, the impact of newer token releases would not be that detrimental to the overall price action. So coming to the longer term moving averages of Quant, again, we'll get rid of some of them uh, just to make more and more sense of what these averages are. So first, starting with the 100-week simple moving average, this purple line which turns gold is whenever the price is lower than the 100-week simple moving average, the color is gold. And again, arguably, if there is a DC opportunity analysis for Quant, and whenever the price is below the 100-week simple moving average, not the worst time to DCA, at least in the short term. But again, as the asset were to spend more and more time in, let's say, some of the longer term moving averages, what we can do is over here highlight more the 200-week simple moving average. This blue line which turns white in the bear market, or whenever the price is below the 200-week, again has been another guideline for where again the price action could go. If there is a rally back to 200-week, the rally could go as at around $100 or so. That's about 12 to 13%. Let me check how high would that be. A rally from here $200 would be at around 17%, 16-17% higher than the current price. Coming to the machine learning based price forecast on our website, cryptosweekly.com, link on the bottom of your screen. This is one row dedicated to Quant. The price action covered at a weekly level since launch in 2018. And this model is trained on the weekly price action using seasonal ARIMA LSTM based machine learning models and standard deviation based confidence levels to identify what is a bear case, bull case, and the base case. So if there is a rally in the next 2 to 3 months, the ceiling established or ceiling forecasted by this model is at around $115. Whereas if there is a correction to the downside, again, the model says that again the support levels over here at around $50 to $60, that could be the price action, where the price action goes. In a macro bear case, again, the price action could go slightly lower than the June 2022 bottom at around $49 to $50. That's the bear case forecast. In terms of the regression based valuation, if the price is fairly valued, the polynomial regression model says that right now the price is kind of overvalued with respect to the fair value. The fair value is this pink line over here. It has the line has a downward slope. It's a non-linear model to identify the regression based fair value using polynomial regression with 2 degrees of freedom. This says that the fair value of Quant is at around $55, but again, in the bullish phases of the market cycle, the price does go close to that yellow line over here, where the price goes slightly higher than the fair value in terms of the one standard deviation residual applied to the fair value. That currently is at around $100. So again, 3 different models suggesting that the price could go to $100. Where is actually the, in terms of the bear market accumulation, whenever the price is close enough to this green line, which is one standard deviation residual to the downside, applied to the fair value, that's when major DC opportunities, again not financial advice, have been historically speaking presented by the price action. Again, by whenever, for example, in October 2024, DCA below the $60, $62, $64 range, that could have led to about 2.5x, almost 3x return from October to December in a manner of 2 to 3 months. So again, that's again similar story over here in May, June 2022. From there to October 2022, the rally between from even in the depths of the bear market, from $50 level to about $200 level. That's what Quant did in the typical bear market year of 2022, at least in the second half of 2022. So coming to the time weighted average price scenario, this model also has not flagged a DCA zone as of yet, because the time weighted average price is at around $74. And again, this is again an indication of how long the price action has stayed at some of the key levels. And again, instead of, let's say, spending one day at $1,000 level and the 1,000 days at $1 level, again, the average does favor more time spent in some of the key time period rather than one flashy price action peak. So what you can see, that whenever there is a definite trend to the upside, where the price action stays bullish for, let's say, 1 year or so, like it did back in from April 2020 till about as late as about May 2022 or even June 2022, the price was consistently up than the time weighted average price. So the time weighted average price was pulled ahead with respect to what the price action was. So the price action helped the time weighted average price grow. But since let's say late June, July 2022, the difference between the time weighted average price and the price has been minimal, again ignoring the October 2022 peak. Even in December 2024, the time weighted average price risk at the peak was only in the green zone, not in the orange or the red zone. That's because, again, the price action has largely stayed range bound, and there wasn't any major peak for Quant in 2024 or 2025. The peak was much lower than the 2021 peak. So right now the time weighted average price is essentially a flat line. So let's say come late 2026, if there is a, let's say, 25 to 50% drop in Quant's price action from that time weighted average price. Let's say the time weighted average price in mid to late 2026 is at around $80. 50% drop would be at around $40. A 40% drop would be at around $50. So slightly under $50. So that's where the per this model the price action could bottom. In terms of the 20-week simple moving average price risk, again, it has gotten quite elevated again, as the price is slightly above the 20-week simple moving average. All in all, if we were to estimate what could be a bear market bottom and the bull market target for Quant, let's start with the bearish side and then conclude with the bullish side. For Quant, with these 3 risk-based models, again, the time-weighted average price risk, the SMA risk, and the regression risk, the weighted risk is at around 0.4. That's because the time weighted average price risk is slightly high, as the price is not lower than the time weighted average price. Typically in the bear market, the price tends to be for altcoins lower than the time weighted average price. So with all of these weighted risk based calculation, the base bear target for Quant is at around $50, roughly speaking, which is about 38% lower than the current price. The panic case is at around $40. Around 50% drawdown from here. is what is forecasted as a confluence of all of these risk-based models. With that, again, now let's move to the bullish side of things. Let's say Quant survives this bear market and comes out strong in the next bull run, let's say in 2028, 2029. The base peak forecasted, let's say if there is a new all-time high for Quant in 2029 or 2028, the price forecasted per this risk-based model is at around 400 and between 415 and around 700. So 700 is at a stretch goal between 415 to $460 in the base case and the bull case, which is like a euphoria case over here, and this is the base bullish peak estimate, which is roughly speaking a 5 and a 5.2x and about 5 and 5.8x. So a little under 6x from here. Between 5x and 6x is what the bullish targets for Quant are using these risk-based models. With that, I'd like to conclude. First major area to look for is if there is a rally back to 200 week at around $100, which is confluent with several risk-based models. For DCA accumulation, the time-weighted average price risk is still slightly elevated. So if price were to, let's say, be closer to that $50 target, that's when the DCA typically made most amount of sense. With that, I would like to say thanks. Hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, please give a like and subscribe, and hope to see you again tomorrow. Thank you and have a nice day.